Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to shining sea. Want to welcome you back to the shack here in Oregon. A little bit of Cuban music to start this one. Should be fun. We got Alex W7HU coming from Cutler Bay, Florida, to take your requests, questions, and a whole bunch more. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Plus, a special song coming up that really I know he'll like. It's a special version of Lee Greenwood's redo of Proud to be an American. So if we get zapped for copyright, at least this part of the show will be there. Ready? Away we go, everybody.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife.
I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, where the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota
to the hills of Tennessee,
across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea.
from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'd gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, please bless the USA.
Doesn't get better than that. That's Lee Greenwood's redo of God Bless the USA, which includes the U.S. Air Force Choir. I want to thank Lee Greenwood, as well as his record label and the U.S. Air Force Choir, for putting together something that literally gives me chills every time I heard it. And I've waited to play that song until I had a guest on who really would appreciate that song. Today's that day. Today we're going to meet Alex, W7 Hotel United from Cutler Bay, Florida. We're going to talk about his YouTube channel. We'll also make sure and take your questions. Please put them in the comments section. We want to remind you, the show is on WRMI. It's called CQ Calling. You can hear it all over the world. Hawaii, South Pacific, Australia, New Zealand. Gets it Thursday, 0815 UTC at 7730 kilohertz. Europe, North Africa, Middle East. WRMI streams it all the way to you Thursdays, 2015 UTC at 15770 kilohertz, so 19 meters. North America gets the show Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on 93.95 kilohertz, and Caribbean, South America, and South Africa get the show Thursday, 8:15 Eastern on 99.55. Remember, CQ Calling is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. Want to thank very much Alex for coming all the way from Cutler Bay, Florida. If you have an email request for me that you'd like to have on the show or on WRMI, please remember, hit me up at CQ, hamradiolive@gmail.com. Let's take a look at a little bit of Alex's work. W7 Hotel United, Cutler Bay, Florida, his own YouTube channel. Here's how it starts out every time.
Yankee Tango, Cuba, CDX. Hello, CQDX. Papa Zulu 2 Yankee Tango, Cuba, CDX.
All right, so he starts out with that to let people know he's coming live. Then he starts to take some calls. He does it. Take a listen.
CQDX, CQ Delta X-Ray, hello, CQ, QRZ, Whiskey 7, Hotel Uniform, W7 Hotel United, QRZ 20.
And that's Alex, W7 Hotel United. Without further ado, from Cutler Bay, Florida, Alex, my mate in Cutler Bay. Alex, welcome to the show. It's great to have you, mate.
Hey, hello, my friend. Welcome. Thank you.
It's good to see you. Well, we got lots of folks. Let's say a proper hello. First one in, Sean from the UK, 2 Echo 0, X-Ray Bravo Tango. Sean, thank you. Happy Saturday night. Gary Strong from Las Vegas, Nevada, Whiskey 9, Papa Yankee. Color Me OD from Canada. Welcome and a happy Saturday to you. David Lurcia, thank you, David, for coming from Argentina. Lima Whiskey 4, Delta Alpha Foxtrot. It's an honor. Greg is here from the state of Iowa. Yep. Kilo Fox 0, Charlie Union Zulu. We've got Suriname in the house. Papa Zulu 2, Yankee Tangy. Thank you so much. Yanko, I can't say it now. Yankee Tango.
That's
Yankee
my body to do.
Tango. Yankee Tango. Sorry about that. All right. Also want to welcome Andy New, Mike Hotel 3007 SWL from Bristol in the UK, as well as Anton, his call sign Papa Charlie for Alpha Delta. Sorry for the dogs going off in the background. No! Yeah, we've got a Christmas delivery, and no one can go to the door because, it's my responsibility to hit the door today because they're gifts I'm getting for the family. So my hope is my wife will calm them down shortly. Alex, welcome. It's nice to see you.
Okay, thank you. Well, at least you're not going to get copyright for this.
Well, it's good. Yeah. Definitely. We don't have a problem when people come near the door. They let us know. Alex, tell us about your YouTube channel, when you're on and what you do.
Well, I'm telling you, actually I was today, laid down on the bed and thinking what's going on, and I said, wow, I look at the YouTube channel, I have almost 5,000 subscribers. I said, wow, that's unbelievable, because I remember last year on December 25th, I reached the 1,000 mark.
Congratulations.
So in 1 year, I've been almost achievement like 4,000 more. That means a lot to me.
Oh, you've been blessed.
And I know it's a lot of hours, and I've been a little bit lost these days because I have some, I've been taking care of some family issues. There was some trouble in my son's school. These people threatening the school, and we have to call the police, and not because of for my son. Pretty much a lot of students received a text message telling that there will be a shooting in there.
Oh my!
And then of course I called the police, and they came home and we did the report. We showed the telephone, and they went to the guy who sent it to my son, and the other. Well, I don't know if you saw that on the news, but eventually they catch the original one, the guy who actually sent the message, and they're investigating, and they have somebody in custody.
Wow!
So
it's terrible.
But there was a couple of days that I, rather than being on the air all the time, I've been doing some CW. Actually, I stopped. I'm participating on the.
We're losing your audio, Alex.
Oh, my new like mode, which is the CW. I'm actually using Ham Radio Deluxe and the Flex Radio integrated, and it's a great tool for CW, especially for me. It has all the macros and everything, and it helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm personally not. I mean, I I've got to learn CW. I'd like to, but I'm just not there yet. So yeah, totally understand.
Yeah.
Alex, by the way, I want to welcome some great folks here to the channel. I'm trying to get the camera off of me personally, but that's just because I don't want it on me right now. Just the way it is. So, Alex, I wanted to ask you the starting of a YouTube channel. How'd that all begin, and what was the kind of your motivation for getting that all going? Talk us through that.
Well, I'm telling you something. When I used to live in Pennsylvania, back in, I think it was 2010,
Mm-hmm.
I did my first live stream on QRZ. QRZ used to have a live stream fixture. Um, I don't know if you remember that, but they do have that before,
Mm-hmm.
and I started that. So after that, they stop it. Oh, something wrong?
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I just turned my camera off. I've recently had skin cancer surgery yesterday, and so I really don't want the camera on me. I just want this to be about you. So go ahead, please.
Okay. Well, and then I like the idea because when I was a child, I always dreamed to be, a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, I was born in a small town named Florida City in Camagüey, central east part of the island of Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I never had that opportunity. There was only 2 or 3 people who have access to that. And then in order to start that, you have to go to the capital city, to Havana. And it was impossible for me to go to the school and become a broadcaster.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I found the ham radio hobby, and I thought was
Now, how old were you when you started getting, not when you got your license, but how old were you when you started to discover the magic of radio?
13 years old, and actually I was hunting lizards
Mm-hmm.
in my neighborhood.
Really?
And I was passing by Amaury's Charlie Mexico 7 Oscar Charlie
Mm-hmm.
house, and I heard that noise, and I said, "What is this?" And I heard the noise, and I looked through the window, and he told me, "You like it?" I said, "What is that?" I said, "Come over." And I went there, and I saw that it was a gigantic was a okay. Well, it was this such a huge, gigantic 160-meter tube radio. Who
Wow.
actually was the transmitter, because the receiver was a BF 2006. It was a Russian receiver for a commercial music radio,
Mhm.
and of course it's easy to listen in 160-meter band because it's so close.
Oh, and you
And
need a big antenna for that too.
yes, and then I saw that, and I went there, and my friend Amaury told me, "Oh, I'm talking to somebody that is 3 kilometers away." And I said, "Wow, that's fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
And you built this?" And he said, "Yes." And wow, and what is the cable? You have a cable from here to this? I said, "No, it's over the air. It's to the airwaves." And I said, "Wow, that's fascinating." So I actually talked to the guy. He answered to me. He asked me my name. I gave my name, and he told me, "What do you do?" I said, "Well, I'm at the school. I'm in the at the school, and what else do you do? What is your hobby?" "Oh, I imitate the Italian singer Eros Ramazzotti." So he told me, "Can you sing one song for me?" And I said, "Yes, for sure."
Mm-hmm.
And then I started singing "Fantastico Amore" by Eros Ramazzotti.
Okay.
And well, the next day when I went to the school, everybody was saying hi to me and say, "Hey, congratulations! I hear you on the Radio Florida station yesterday." And the thing
How
is,
cool is
everybody
that?
everybody around my neighbor was listening his transmission,
Uh-huh.
because there was no filter and anything, and the harmonic were so strong that actually shut up the local station, and the people only listen what he say on the regular radio. So the other guy say, "And now for you, Elixander Valladares with Fantastico Amore by Eros Ramazzotti." And I start singing, "Que fantastico el amor."
That's
And then
great. Oh,
and
that's
then the
great.
next day, everybody at the school, hey, I hear you there. I said, wow, that's amazing. And I went the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day.
You were
Well,
hooked. You were hooked. That was
yep,
it.
exactly. And then no more lizard hunting. There was uh, hunting of old TV parts
Oh yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
recognize a transistor, a resistor, and diode and everything. I was learning with Amauris.
hmm
And man, that was a fascinating thing. It was great. I actually dream a lot. Those days, I remember my first radio was a tube radio, a double sideband Islander was one of the radios that a guy from Cuba designed.
hmm
And we had the map, the schematic, and we collect the Russian parts of the TV.
Yep.
And Amauri made it for me. I helped him out to go and hunting those signs from the bus stop that they were no longer working because in Cuba there was buses before the revolution and at the beginning of the revolution, but after that, in my time, there was no buses running, so the signs were there, but they wasn't used. So those signs were aluminum. So we took it down. We actually sanded, paper sanded, and we used those signs. I mean, the broken ones and the one that was not in use, and we make the case. That was we have a body, and then we covered that with the for the case.
Yep. Yep. This sounds
Mm.
so familiar to a story that I heard from a Cuban ham that I made contact with, became friends with, just using East German radio parts, old ones, to be able to make a ham radio. So how long did it take you to build it?
Well, to tell you the truth, Amaury he was doing that for a living. He used to fix TVs and stuff,
Mhm.
and I think it took him to build it only like 1 month, but it took us almost 1 year to collect all the parts.
Wow. Oh
You
my
know,
goodness.
just to get a I don't know if you remember those two, the 6146.
I don't know. I know I have not built a ham radio before, so I don't.
6146 was a very, very popular tube for HF, and they're very expensive. I think they're still making them, and man, they're so good. But the thing is, there were not many of them in Cuba, so you have to hunt in and ask people
Yeah.
and try to buy it. And after almost a year, there was a guy from Santiago of Cuba who actually um, gave me one. So I gotta go to. I went to Santiago to pick up that tube, and which is like 400 kilometers away from my home place. And well, I got these 6146,
Mhm.
and man, that slander was great.
Oh, that's
Uh,
great. That's
yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah.
And you got the reward of building it too, which I think is the best part, right? I mean,
Well,
you put it together.
I had to admit that the one who built it was a Maori. I was helping him,
But you
not
learned,
building.
right? You
Yes,
learned.
yes. I enjoy it. Imagine that we were building that, and those filters were from an old a Russian TV. And when we connect the power supply, everything, we connected, and one of the filters exploded, and on the head,
Mhm.
actually make a huge black smoke. In my living room. Zelda is there knows that I have a very tiny living room. My house was
We're losing you out a little bit there, Alex,
Oh,
audio
my
wise.
my
Sorry.
my house was tiny,
Mhm.
and I have this smoke all over the living room, and my
Oh,
mother was crying and screaming, "Oh my goodness!"
oh yeah. Oh
thing.
yeah. I bet.
And
I
and
bet.
then we replaced the filter. We put the other one, and when we're gonna do it again, we have a piece of aluminum, and we put it in top of there just in case.
That's great. That's great. I want to take
Just
a
in case.
moment. I want to welcome some folks who came. Tom is here all the way in Bahrain, where it is just about midnight. Oh, Tom, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, all the, WhatsApp stuff. Thank you. Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey from Bahrain. Thanks for joining us from the Middle East. Again, Suriname, thanks for being here. Papa Zulu 2, Yankee Tango. I want to also say hello to Berg's Garden, Sweden, where it's cold as heck, minus 25 Celsius. Oh. Rosman Perrin, thank you for coming, my friend. Kilo 7 Alpha Papa Quebec. Welcome. Also, Nikolai from Russia is back. Hi, Nikolai. His call sign is Romeo 7 Delta November. Welcome. Bergs has a question for you from Sweden. He says, what do you think about the Mercury 2 amp?
Okay, the Mercury 3S. Yeah, he missed a one number. So, but that's okay. The Mercury 3. The Mercury 2, I think there is only one. They build only one, and still here in Miami somewhere.
Okay.
Well, the Mercury 3S is a great amp. Actually, it's going to have his two anniversary on February 1st this coming year. So in 2 months, it will be 2 years old. And I talk on the radio quite a lot,
Yeah.
pretty much every day. And yes, it's an amazing amplifier, top notch, good value, 1200 watts, solid state, follows the radio when you press the PTT. You have the RF decode and touch screen. It is amazing. Have all kind of protections. It will trip on anything. Highest WR, overdrive.
What is the SWR port? Is it 2 to 1 where it finally just pops off?
Yeah, 2 to 1 or above 100 watts of reflective power.
Okay. There you go. So you like it, and that's good. How long have you had it now?
I say it's going to be 2 years on February. In 2 months will be 2 years. So I have it for 22 months already.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. And using it almost every day too, that's a lot of work. So,
And I'm telling you,
fantastic.
it's brand new. It's not even having a scratch. It's very good and it's very quiet, and you can plug in on 120 or 240. You plug and play. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to switch anything, convert anything, and the power supply is built in.
Yeah, it's a beautiful amplifier, no question. I do want to say welcome, Adesh Trinidad. Welcome to the show. Always a pleasure to have you. So a lot of rain in his area. Same way here, my friend. We've had a really bad winter storm here. Robert Sabato is here. Hi, Robert. Kilo 2, Whiskey Romeo Delta. My mate Jim, one of the best CW ops in the world, is here. His call sign, Whiskey 6, Juliet, India, Mike, as well as Mark Taylor, all the way from the UK, Mike 7, Echo Sierra Sierra. Alex, now you got your Urban Beam. Tell me when you got your Urban Beam up and working. When was that all done?
Okay. Well, I wanted to thanks everybody to watching. My friend Anton and Judel in Radio 7 Delta November, and, Mr. Whiskey 6 Jim, and Mark, and all of you, Adesh, right there as well.
Yep. Good people. Very good people.
Well, I ordered my Urban Beam, and they told me 6 to 8 weeks. Actually, they sent it at the week number 8, the last day of their promise that they actually send it on time.
Okay.
I was a little bit say, wow, I couldn't get it earlier, because I wanted to have that antenna, but they got it last week, and it was on time. And I'm telling you, man, I think I make a mistake buying that antenna.
Why is that?
No, I make a mistake because I didn't buy that antenna before.
Yes. Now, see, I would agree with that. We had a topic on the show here recently. What's a mistake you made in ham radio? And I said I should have got a great antenna first, like the Urban Beam. That if I'd started with that and bought a used, say, I don't know, used 450D, right, and some decent feed line, you've got a great antenna. You've got, got to buy the rotator, obviously, and the controller, but you get that. And then you get just a marginal, HF radio, and you've got the whole package because the antenna does all the work.
Yes, exactly. And then I say, why I didn't get that antenna before? I know why. The money, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does.
But sometimes you spend money that in something that you don't need,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
can get something good.
I
So
I still say the blingy radio with the beautiful screens and all that is it's so much more important to get a great antenna first and then work up to that radio because you'll be happier working a ham radio for sure. For sure.
exactly. I have a friend of mine from Miami. His name is Rigoberto.
Mhm.
And Rigoberto told me the other day, Alex, I have this amount of money. I want you to suggest me which radio I buy. And I said, what are you going to use? I said, I'm going to use a regular dipole. And I said, you're planning to buy an antenna? Yes, in the future. I have to make more money to get them.
Uh-huh.
What kind of radio do you have? I have a modest Icon 7300. And I
Oh
said,
boy.
you have one of the best radio
Yep.
in the earth.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And if you have that money, you gotta get the Urban Bean. And he ordered the Urban Bean, and they say, forget it. You don't need a fancy radio. You don't need a Flex 6400. You don't need a 101. You don't need a 7610. The 7300 is the perfect radio for any amateur radio. Doesn't
Agreed.
matter if you have
Yeah.
20 years of experience or 20 months of experience.
Agreed.
The 7300 for me is one of the best radios in the market right now.
Absolutely. For the money, you just can't beat it right now. You really can't.
I owe 7 of those. 5 of them are in Cuba right now. They never give any problem to any of those friends.
Mhm.
Their sounds great, and you don't need a fancy microphone to use it.
Mhm.
And it is a great radio. I think it's one of the best radios. And yes, that's the LD Most. That's the LD Most amp.
Yeah.
Transistor. I was actually answering to
Berg's.
Berg's.
Yeah.
Yes, and yes, and I think the antenna is the most valuable asset that I have here because, as you see, I have the Flex 6400M today. I had 3 months ago. I had the Kenwood TS 890,
Uh-huh.
and before that, I had the 101 Delta. But when I changed from the 101 to the Kenwood, the people told me, "Oh, what is wrong with the 101?" Oh, nothing is wrong with the 101.
Nope.
I just didn't like a radio that expensive that you cannot do remote with that radio.
It's true. It's true.
You know?
Oh, the 890 is pretty big too. That's pretty big too. What I love about the Flex is the Maestro. It's the most beautiful remote there is in ham radio. The Maestro is absolutely perfectly named.
And I'm going to tell you what's going on with that. I'm going to end them up with that. And then I have the 890. And I'll tell you what, when I sold my 890 to a guy in the Northeast, I actually felt guilty because the 890 is a wonderful radio. Nothing wrong with that radio. The thing is, I wanted to have a new experience. And this radio, maybe in 1 year from now, I will sell it and buy a new one and try it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I've
don't know
been
if
through that.
I don't know if I will sell it in 1 year because I'm falling in love with this technology. If I get something, it will be the same technology.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the 6600 or something.
Mm-hmm.
But my budget is around this radius here, so I sell one, buy the other one. So
Yeah, we're live with Alex W7 Hotel United from his YouTube channel, and one of the things that I'd like to ask Alex, talk a little bit about, you tried to get to the U.S. legally from Cuba not once but twice. What was it like for that experience? Tell us, because I'm very impressed with this story. Would you mind sharing with everybody here?
that's okay. I did share that a couple of times. Well, I escaped from Cuba.
Hold on, we got a little audio issue again with Alex. Sorry.
I
There we
escaped
go.
from Cuba. I escaped from Cuba illegally, of course, because it was illegal to escape out of Cuba away. If you use the word escape, you got to go illegal.
Yeah,
They
that's for
cannot
sure.
that you're leaving. And when I get here, of course, after I came here, there is a law named the Cuban Adjustment Law, and dry food, wet food, who actually was protecting us and give us, immediately legalization here in the United States. And unfortunately, for us Cuban exiles, Mr. Barack Obama derogate that wet food diet through to actually give an incentive to the government of Cuba. So he was partnering with Raul Castro and saying, "What you want? You want this? Okay, take it, whatever." So he actually messed up with the Cuban people that are actually escaping Cuba to get freedom, and when they get here, now they cannot stay because if they catch them on the water or on the dry land, they're gonna send them back no matter what. And it's so funny. And this is a little bit political. If you want, I can say my point of view. If no, I reserve it. But if you don't have any trouble, if you don't have any problem, I can say what I think.
I totally know. I mean, say this is your story, Alex. This is
Okay.
yours.
I look at this point and I see that they open the southern border for everybody to come, and they
Yep.
enter hundreds of people,
Yep.
thousands of people through the south border.
But not for
But
Cubans.
But if they catch 50 people on the water, they send them back. You know what they send back those people?
Yep. That's
Because
true.
everybody who escaped communism will vote Republican
Yeah.
because we are against the socialists, against the free stuff, and against the government, the big governments. We want a small government and bigger country.
Yeah.
And
You've
that's
seen
why we
what it
voted
does. You've seen
Republican.
firsthand what it does because you lived through it. You really did. You know, I think this is really good. I've got Tom in Bahrain, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey, said, tell us about Alex. You know, don't hold back, man. I mean, you had to go back. I mean, you tried once and then were sent back, right?
Yes, the first time I took 22 days on in total. Was 18 days on the sea, and 10 days no food, and 4 day drinking our own urine to survive.
Oh boy.
Actually, we had a tropical, not a tropical storm, a tropical depression,
Okay.
who actually was passing by the area to the south part of Cuba. We escaped from the south part, not for the northern part, because the northern part was well watched by the Cuban authorities because people would go to the United States, not to Central America.
Sure.
There is a lot of distance. And we say, well, we're going to go to Honduras or somewhere like that. And then we start, walking up until we get to the southern border of the United States. And then we have this storm, and the waves were big enough to actually.
Oh man. That's
yes.
terrifying because that's shark infested waters there. That's terrible.
we got seasick easy.
Yeah, I
Okay,
bet. I
easy,
bet.
easy. And then it was this couple days that we didn't eat, and we were there. I mean, at nighttime was dark that you couldn't see your hands and
Yeah.
stuff. But I'm not going to tell the whole story. One of the story that I never have to miss is this one. When it was before actually they rescue us, one of the guy Agustin who went with us was the older man in the group. He used to go to church.
Okay.
Going to church back in that time was not prohibited at the moment, but it used to be prohibited. But it wasn't seen as good as now that people can go to church
Okay.
a little bit more
Okay.
with more freedom. And Agustin have a Bible, and he told his son, "Hey, can you hold this Bible for me, and please make it dry, keep it dry."
Oh,
And I have the
man.
FT 80 Charlie, which is an old Yaesu
Yesu.
radio.
Yep.
And I have it with me. And then the next day after the storm, the waves were coming in and all the rains, and we lost all the water and the food. There was only 7 cans of sardine and 20 liter of water for 7 people for 18 days. My radio was dry, and guess what? The Bible was wet. I was thinking he lost his feet, and he told him, "Why? You were born in a religious house. You know what God means. You
Mhm.
actually studied the Bible, and you let the Bible get wet." And Alex, he have the protection of his radio,
Mhm.
and you didn't do that. So he got upset, and he lost the fee, and he threw the Bible to one side in the raft. And
Mhm.
many days after that, we start telling, I was thinking, why don't you read the Bible or sing some religion song?
Sure.
We're gonna get crazy because we didn't have any any other joke, we say all the jokes, even 2, 3 times,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
we talk about everything. We were hungry and we want something to believe to.
Yeah.
And before that, I never believed in God. I never met God before that raft.
Hmm.
And I was thinking, it got this day that I was thinking, say, okay, right, I'm gonna. And he started reading the Bible,
Hmm.
and he started singing, and we sing with him, even if we didn't know the songs.
Hmm.
We start repeating after him, and guess what?
A boat came.
Next day, I was looking through my things on the backpack, and I found the FT23R, and I put it on a scan mode. Still
Oh.
had battery on it, and I heard some noise.
Oh,
That noise,
wow.
that noise was a boat from the fishermen's, and I called them, and they heard me. And then they called the Coast Guard, and they came and rescue us. And
Wow.
since that day, I believe in God because God saved us. Because when He recovered the faith in God,
Hmm.
and He started talking to us about God, then He gave us the opportunity to still alive. And then
Wow.
we got returned to Cuba,
What do you
and
say?
2 years after that, we started the journey again. This time with um, the water was only 155-gallon drums. We divide that in those 20 liters gallons,
Okay.
and then we have plenty of water for the next time, and they all attach separate. That way, if we have a huge storm, we don't lose everything at once. We're going to
Sure.
lose,
Well,
not many of them.
Alex, I got to ask this because this is fascinating to me. This is a great story. By the way, we're live with Alex. His call sign Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. Find him here on YouTube nearly every day making calls. He's brilliant at it. He really is. Again, his YouTube channel is Whiskey 7 Hotel United. Alex, you had to go back because the Coast Guard shipped you right back to Cuba. What happened when you got back to Cuba after that?
Well, actually, when the Coast Guard that actually sent us back to Jonguer Island, Isla de la Juventud in Cuba, was the Cuban Coast Guard.
Oh my.
And well, I was dehydrated, and they had to put me 7 IVs at the hospital there. They just put me right away to the hospital, and after that they sent us to Havana. We went there to La Cabaña and no Casablanca in Havana. We were interrogated by the secret police, and we were interviewed by the newspaper El Granma. Actually,
Uh-huh.
there was an article named Otra amarga experiencia que contar,
Hmm.
another bad experience to tell on the newspaper. I forgot the day, but I was still have the newspaper here in the States. I gotta take a picture and make a copy of that.
Hmm.
And um, and then it was funny. My mother used to live back in the time, and when she knows that we were in Isla de la Juventud, she dropped there. I mean, she got a ride there, and I wanted to see her, and they didn't allow her to see me, and I saw her on the
Oh.
bus that they put us. And when I went there, they transport us to Camagüey. They didn't do anything
Hmm.
because I had my FT 80 Charlie, and I was talking to people in the United States, people in South Florida, and there was a huge noise on the TV here in Miami, and
Hmm.
uh, everybody knows about us. And guess what? They don't wanted to do anything against us that first time because we were famous. We were actually on the news,
Wow.
and what people will say, okay, the guy couch, they're gonna kill them. What happened with them? They're gonna put them on prison because they promised that they're not gonna put any people in prison after 1994. I think after
Okay.
1994.
Okay.
So, and they didn't do anything, but they fired me from the school. And I used to study foreign language at the university, and also English teacher in the secondary school
Hmm.
there in Camagüey in Florida City. And they fired me from everywhere, so I was uh you know
You were unemployable at that point.
unemployable.
Yep,
And
unemployable. Wow. What a
yes,
great story. Then you did it again. How long was it? Okay, just kind of
it
reset the
took us
stage.
it,
How long was it when you went, okay, you got back to Cuba, everything went wrong. You couldn't get a job or anything. Then you decided to try it again. How long was that?
it was 2 years after that. It was two years. And and 2 years and a lot of money and a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thanks God, I have a good friend here on the States, and he told me one day on Christmas time, Alex, what do you want for Christmas? I said, I don't want anything. I want my freedom. So we
Wow.
need an engine. We need an engine. He told me, how much is that
Beautiful.
engine? I said, $300. He told me, okay, go to Western Union. I'll send it to you. He sent it to me, the $300,
Mm-hmm.
and we bought the engine. And yes, that was my
Wow.
ticket.
That was your ticket to freedom. And then you came
Yeah.
up through Central America, didn't you?
We ended up in Isla Mujeres,
Okay.
Mexico.
Okay. And came up through Mexico then. Very good. Wow.
Uh-huh.
Live with Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel United. And then so you come up through Mexico and then you went right to Florida once you came into the States. Is that right?
Hey, not so easy. Hold on. Let
Okay.
me tell you.
All
Let me
right.
tell you what happens.
All right. Well,
There's
it's story
and-
time with Alex, so we want to make
and-
sure. Here we go. Sit down.
And this is
Grab some coffee.
an statement that I'm gonna say. There is a great people. There is a lot of good people in Mexico. But
Yes,
the
there are.
government-
Yes, there are
the
very many.
government is-
Absolutely.
The government of Mexico is corrupt and is bad and is whatever you want to say.
But the
in a
people
bad
there
way.
are beautiful.
The people there are amazing, and I'll tell you why. I was in immigration for almost 4 months, and they wanted to send us to Cuba, and they said we're going to go on a hunger strike. We actually didn't eat for 2 or 3 days. For 2
Wow.
days.
Wow.
And I asked the guy at the immigration, may I see the newspaper? And I went to the credit of the newspaper, and I saw the redaction phone number, and I have a telephone that actually a friend of mine sent me $500 to Mexico, and the nurse of the immigration, I talked to her and say, you mind to receive this money and get $20 for you and buy me a cell phone and bring me the rest? And she say, okay.
Sure.
She did it. She took
Sure.
her $20 and gave me the cell phone. It was my first cell phone ever. It was a Nokia 3220.
You'll always remember that, won't you? You'll always remember that.
Well, actually, I delivered that telephone to my mother. My mother,
Oh,
I think my brother has it now, but
wow.
they keep it on as a gift.
Sure. Sure. So
And
you're in Mexico and you're on a hunger strike. Then what happens?
and then I called the newspaper and said, we are 66 Cuban rafting people. Okay, it was our group of 7 people plus many other groups. We were a total of 66 Cuban people there. And I called them and I told them that we are in a hunger strike and we're not going to eat anything and we want our freedom. We prefer to die in Mexico than going back to Cuba and die on a pressure with Castro's regime.
Wow.
Yeah, the TV came down and everything. I gave a lot of interviews and I have newspaper with my picture actually when I was there. I don't know if I show you that before.
No,
But,
no, that's
I
okay.
wasn't-
That's okay.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared to to tell the story completely there.
Well,
But if you want, I can show you the newspaper. I have it handily here.
yeah,
handy here.
let's see it. Absolutely. I think it's a really good story. This is something that you don't hear every day. This is what freedom actually means to somebody. For people who take it for granted, I think many of us do. So this is Alex, live from Cutler Bay, Florida. His call sign in ham radio is Whiskey 7 Hotel United. He's on daily, usually Monday through Fridays. You can find him on weekends. Whiskey
Okay.
7 Hotel United.
This guy here is me.
Good
That's
looking
me,
guy.
right?
Look at you.
Yeah,
Look
and
at
the other
that.
guy, this one here, this old man with glasses is Agustin, the guy with the Bible.
Oh,
The other one here, this one here is Alexis. Alexis actually, he was peeing his blood because we didn't drink water for so long time,
mhm.
and I think his kidney was falling down, and
Oh.
and it was.
Oh, man.
It was this day that Alex told us, "Hey guys, if I die, just eat me." And he looked at his bag, his
So he really told you literally
Yes,
if
he
he
told us.
pass away, it's okay to eat him so you guys can survive.
Exactly, and
Wow.
we say no,
Yeah,
we're not gonna
be cannibals.
eat nobody.
Yeah.
So this is the I
Wow.
actually, you see, 66
Look at that.
Cuban rafting people, and I was right there.
In a
You know,
cage, of all things, in a cage.
yes,
That's awful.
on immigration right there. So
So how
I
did you get
wrote,
out of that? What happened? How'd you get out?
I wrote a letter myself to the ex-president Vicente Fox,
You do
and
really to Presidente Fox? Really?
yeah,
I've
actually,
served an orphanage down in Baja and have been there with Presidente Fox when he was there. Yep.
well, I wrote a letter to him,
Hmm.
and of course, I gave it to the prince, to the people, to the newspaper, and okay, see what it says here. Cubans asking Vicente Fox not to be repatriated, not to be sent back to Cuba.
Look at
You know,
that.
and I was, I was reading. Oh, see this picture right here. That's me.
Look at Alex.
That
How
skinny
many
guy.
years ago was that, Alex?
Oh, that was in 2005. So
Okay,
16,
16
17
years
years
ago.
ago.
That's not long ago. Okay, so then they let you out finally then, right? And then you guys headed for the
No,
border.
no. They
Oh,
they actually told us, oh, we're gonna send you to Mexico, yes, and from there, we are going to give you the paper to continue your trip to the United States.
okay. Okay, that's
A-
great.
And then when we went there to Mexico City,
Mhm. Hey, Alex,
uh,
Alex, my friend. Hey, buddy, I want to let you know your camera's just out of focus a little bit. This is such an important story. I don't want to miss this part because this is, I mean, literally people around the world. We have 5 continents live right now, and they're gripped to this story. Live with Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform. You can find him on YouTube Monday through Friday, typically making calls constantly all over the world. Find him at W7 Hotel United here on YouTube. And we're right now just about to the end of the story of him coming from Cuba the second time to come to the United States. Alex, you look great. Go ahead.
okay, you see now good because
See you great.
okay, that's good. I'm sorry because I have a lot of lights
It's
here. I
okay.
have to
No, this is a great
uh,
story. And I think it's so important.
here.
People are literally gripping here watching this. So continue, please.
Okay, and then they told us at the immigration, you're gonna go to Mexico DF, and guess what? They put us on 4 different buses.
Hmm.
Like the Greyhound and stuff.
Yeah.
And they sent us to Mexico DF, but they put 16 guys who were in one group on the first bus, and that bus was straight to the hangar at the
Hold on.
airport.
Well, Alex, the audio just dropped out for a second. You said that bus was what? Sorry?
That bus was like a Greyhound bus, big bus,
Sure.
and they sent 16 friends or 16 Cuban guys
Mhm.
straight to the hangar at the airport in Mexico DF. And when we heard that, because the news were driving side by side to the buses and watching the caravan and everything, and reporting to myself on what's going on. And when we heard that they went straight to the airport and they put those 16 guys on the deportation with the military personnel,
Mhm.
and they got deported, we all got naked and we sit in the floor of the bus, and we say we're not going anywhere.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
and then they put us into the immigration, and we went there for another month until there was a problem in immigration. There was a fight in the other side of the immigration, and we broke the door, okay, of the immigration, and we jumped a fence to a military base that was in Ojo de Aguas, Iztapalapa, Mexico DF.
Okay.
And we went there, and out of 32 that we jumped the fence, 2 of them they got couch, and 2 more got broken legs.
Oh,
So there
no.
was 2 people who
Oh.
got the broken legs
Mhm.
because there was a high altitude, those like serpentine fence and the stuff. And then well, we actually escaped, and then after that I had a friend who actually gave me a ride back to Veracruz, Mexico,
Okay.
when we went before.
Getting
And
closer.
then from Veracruz, a couple of days, like 2 days after that, we started walking from Veracruz until the border, who actually was, I think it was 1,200 kilometers or so. or
Mhm.
1,200 miles. I don't forget if it's kilometer or mile.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all right.
it'll be confused with that.
And
But
then
we
you
were
crossed. Where'd you cross over at?
17
I'm just curious. Was it Brownsville? Where'd you go?
Brownsville, Texas.
Okay. Yep. Yep. Makes sense.
Yes, and it was one of the best experience that I had in my life when I actually paid the 3 pesos, the 3 Mexican pesos to cross the bridge, and I saw that halfway of the bridge at International Bridge there in Brownsville in
Yes.
Matamoros, Tamaulipas, the other place that says this is the United States territory, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
So when I saw the border patrol and I walk in front of him, he put his hands on the on the on the on the
Revolver.
weapon right here.
Yep.
Yeah, and he told me, "Hey, I'm Cuban." I say, "Oh, are you Cuban? Yeah, go to that office there." And when I went there and I gave my name and address in Cuba, like 5 minutes after that, there was an officer who came and told me, Alexander Valladares. I said, "Hmm." I was actually scared. Oh,
Hold on, Alex. Alex, the audio dropped again a little bit. It's a little bit sketchy. So try again. The officer came in and what did he say? Make a little adjustment there.
Okay. You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you just fine. So the officer came
Okay.
in and what did he say to you?
The office came and say, Elixander Valladares, and I say, yes, me. And I was scared because I thought he's gonna send me back
Deport you.
to
Yeah.
Mexico. Yes.
Sure.
He put his hand on my shoulder, and he told me, Alex, Alexander, welcome to America. You are a free man. That was amazing.
That's the best we've ever heard on this show. Now, whether you like ham radio or you've never heard of it, that's the story of what
Yeah.
freedom and liberty mean to people in communist countries and Cuban that really are tired of what's going on there. Alex, thank you for sharing that. I'm serious. Thank you very much for taking the time. That's a very big story for so many people. I do want to welcome people. First of all, continent number 5, Glenn Stevenson is in Australia. Thank you for coming. And I appreciate it as well. I really do. And again, thank you very much. Papa Zulu 2, Yankee Tango. Great comment. He said the history of millions of Cubans, and he's right. He's 100% right. It's a terrible thing that's happening. That's why freedom means so much here. So, Alex, tell us about then you got in the U.S., you're in Brownsville, right? And then you made your way to Florida. Did you have friends or family there?
No. I didn't make the way to Florida. I actually went from Brownsville to Houston, Texas.
Okay.
I was there 2 days, and another ham radio operator who already passed away, Mr. Manolo, he gave me the bus ticket in the Greyhound to go to New York because I didn't have family here in Florida and not even in the United States, but I have a friend of mine in New York and Pennsylvania who were ham radio operators. And they told me, Alex, whenever you get into the U.S., tell them to send you to my home.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have the money, and they already was sending me money to Mexico
Mm-hmm.
and to Cuba,
Sure.
and I didn't want to ask him for more money. So I was waiting there to see how I can get, a ticket to go to there. So I got the bus, who actually took me, I think, 3 days to get to New York from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy gave me the ticket and $80 for the trip. $80 was a fortune for me.
Sure.
Remember,
It
I
was.
just came from
Absolutely.
Cuba.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it was this day that I got into Mobile, Alabama. There is a McDonald's inside of the Greyhound bus station right there.
Okay.
I ordered a combo number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, combo number 1. He gave me the combo number 1. I gave him the money. He gave me back, but I saw the receipt and I say how much I gave him.
Yeah.
A $10 bill. And I called the guy, say, hold on 1 second. I didn't order this sales tax.
You didn't. What was that? You didn't order the what?
I didn't order this sales tax. Why are you charging me for something? I don't see
That
it
you
here on the
didn't
back.
get. You didn't want. Yeah.
And he started laughing at me.
Oh boy.
And I got angry. I got like, I want to fight. Why this guy is robbing me 70 cents? I mean, that's a lot of money for me.
Yes, it is. Yep. Where you
And-
came from your road, that's a lot of money.
And then he called a guy who worked there who was from a Hispanic guy. He told me, "Where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from Cuba." "When did you came?" "Oh, three days ago." So okay, that's why. Welcome to America. And here you gotta pay taxes on everything that you buy,
Yep.
even the food.
Yep.
So I mean, for the pretty much the food that you get here, not the other food.
Yeah.
But and he told me that's why you got the sales tax. Sales tax is nothing to it. It's just
And what's for people who might not understand what he's saying sales tax. So he didn't understand the sales tax portion. He's brand new coming in from Cuba, then in Mexico a long time. Now he's buying food at McDonald's and they charge him sales tax. He's like, what the heck's going on? Makes perfect sense. So you went to Alabama and then you headed from where?
And that's not the most important part. The most important part is that they not only explained me what was the sales tax, they gave me the money back. They refund me the whole money,
Oh, wow.
and they gave me a bag with 10 sandwiches for the rest of the trip. How about that?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Well, I think Americans as people are really good at
Great
really, it's heartwarming to them for people who want to come here, right? Who've not been here and they realize you've come from an oppressed country and they're happy for you. I think it's a heartwarming story. I think what you told,
And-
I mean, look, you got somebody here, you got people here. Look, you got Glenn Stevenson on Australia. Great story, mate. Alex, congratulations. Berg's Guardian, Sweden. He says, that's so sad. I don't even know what to say. He got Papa Zulu 2, Yankee Tango Suriname saying, I'm also Cuban, Bergs. I know what it is. And then he says, crying here, brother. I mean, these are people from all over the world. These are 5 continents. And Alex, I mean, it resonates. It resonates. That's what freedom means to you.
Yep.
Wow.
And then the guy who actually I told him he was actually shaking hands with me and said, "Oh, welcome to America, my friend," and everything. It was great. So I got to New York, and then my friend Frank, November Quebec 2 Tango, he told me, "Alex, New York is too big for you. Let's go to Pennsylvania. You're gonna have a better life there. You're gonna learn the language more, and you're gonna have a successful life right there in Pennsylvania." And guess what? He was agree. I mean, he was right. And I went to his house, stayed for 2 months on his living room. He did great to me because offering me his home.
Sure.
And he was
Sure.
married
A place to stay.
with 2 kids and giving me the opportunity to to sleep in the couch. Man, that is, you have to be good man to do that.
Yeah.
And then after that, I had my social security card and my working permit, and I started working. And then, I used to drive 16 miles each way, 32 miles a day to go to work on a bicycle. That's KB2 kilo KB2 WSJ. Mr. Carlos gave it to me, a bicycle. That
Oh.
was my first means of transportation here in America.
Wow.
And I drove, 16 miles each way
Okay.
to go to work
Mhm.
in Allentown, Pennsylvania, from Easton to Allentown, Pennsylvania.
How long were you there? How long were you in Allentown?
Well, I was there for 2 months, and then I moved to an apartment in Allentown, in Shore Street in Allentown. I was there for about 1 year until I
Okay,
bought
so you
my
went
house.
through a Pennsylvania winter then riding a bicycle.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. I want to welcome Angel Oliverieta. Angel says, Saludos, Alex. And that's very, very nice. Welcome, Angel. Thank you for coming.
Well, Angel Olavarrieta is the brother of KB2 Oscar Juliet. My good
Angel,
friend
welcome. You're always welcome here. Thank you
Frank
for coming,
Olavarrieta.
Angel. What
Yeah,
a
Frank
treat.
Olavarrieta.
Thank you, buddy. Wow. Thank you, mate.
I met Frank Olavarrieta, and Frank Olavarrieta know who Carlito is, KB2 WSJ. And actually, we were talking on 2 meter, and I was driving my bicycle, and man, that was great. I have a nice story of talking about the Olavarrieta family.
Mhm.
Frank Olavarrieta, Angel's brother. We went to Elizabeth, New Jersey, to the Cuban parade there, and after the Cuban parade, we went to a restaurant. And my son was 2 years old,
Okay.
or 1 year old, and after we finished to eat, lady came with the check, and I say, "I'll pay for it," and Frank said, "I pay for it," and we start fighting to pay for it. And my son, he thought that we were fighting, and he started crying.
That's
We
yeah.
never
Well, he's a
forget
little
that.
kid. He doesn't know. Glenn Stevens in Australia said, "I just subscribed to your channel, Alex. You congratulations.
you.
You're getting a good mate there. Glenn's my mate from Australia." So, all right. So, how long did it take you to Florida? You were in Pennsylvania for about a year and a few months, and then you kind of came down.
No. A year, a few months on the apartment, and then thanks to America, I bought my house in Carasaqua, Pennsylvania. So I was there
Okay.
for another 8 years.
Wow.
So I moved down to Florida on
I'm sorry, 2014. You said
2014. I moved down to Florida.
okay. Down to warmer climate.
Yes, and I used to work in Goya Foods, and guess what? After
Goya's a great company, man.
well, after I had the job in the Godiva factory right there in Allentown that I used to drive
Yeah.
the bicycle,
Yeah.
Nelson Roy, which is one of I say my godfather Nelson, and one in our November 1, November Romeo. He when I got my driver's license, I studied and I learned and I passed the test. I called Nelson and say, Nelson, I got the driver's license today. He say, wait for me right there. I'm going there to see you. We got to celebrate this. Nelson came and we drove to a dealership and said, where are you here? He said, come with me. He put me on a Ford pickup truck, the Ford Ranger.
Okay.
And we say, drive this. We came down. He talked to the salesman, blah, 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 blah. And after that, he can come here, come with me, homie. And I went there. He signed the paper. He signed me as a co-signer. He got the check. He gave, the down payment was $1,500. And he said, here you go. You got a pickup truck. Welcome to America. Now you have your own means of transportation. You can get a better job.
Look at that. What a great story.
And
what a
of course,
neat story.
I gotta make the payments.
Sure.
But he was my co-signer, and he gave me the opportunity to have access to a credit because I just came from Cuba. It was only, 2 or 3 months that I was working, and he signed as a co-signer for me, not knowing if I'm going to pay or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then just to clarify, so we can tie a bow in the story, you also became a legal U.S. citizen. Tell us about that.
Yes, of course. After you are Cuban, you come here 5 years after you've been a resident for 5 years. If you have good conduct and you have no problem whatsoever, so you can apply to become a U.S. citizen. So you have to learn, the history of the United States, and they have like 50 or 100 questions. And stuff like that. So I went to the test and I passed because I'm a pure American and I love this country. And of course I will know that I will pass that. I went there with confidence that I will pass that. And I became a U.S. citizen. Thanks God. 5 years after I came here, and that was my first dream in America, to become a U.S. citizen. And I'm very proud to be an American and waking up every day in America and see my family and see what I have. And, the things could be bad right now, but we can go out of this in 24 months. We can get rid of this badness.
Yeah. If you could briefly state for us, because people in the U.S. that are watching, North America and free countries, they don't know, what's the difference between living in a socialist or communist country and living in a country that's more democratic? What's it like? What's the difference?
Okay. The thing is, the socialist and the democratic, democratic is something, is the democracy is great. And socialist and Democrats are not great. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because they associate the Democrats with socialists. They want free education, free health, free this and free that. They promise you a lot of things, but the reality is nothing is free in life.
Yes.
Nothing is free in life. You cannot promise the people to have free education and free health. See Cuba, that is free health, free education, free this and free that, and the people take risk to go, still taking risk to go outside of the country on a raft and risk their life to go outside of the paradise. If a guy who is a Democrat or socialist, not a Democrat, because I respect, this is America, you can talk, the way
freedom
that
of
you
speech. Yep, I get you.
You
You're
can
fine.
think in anything, but like I say, I asked the guy, why you are a Democrat? Oh, because I want equality for everybody. No, my friend, we cannot be equal, because it depends what effort you do in your life is going to be what you can achieve in your
Amen.
life.
That's right.
No,
Yep.
it's the same as there is a daughter of a friend of mine who actually she is thinking the way that they're teaching in the school now, that socialism is good and blah blah blah, and Che Guevara, who actually was a killer,
Uh-huh.
and the people don't know that Che Guevara was a killer, but he was.
Mhm.
And she told me, "Oh, but I mean, I think this country need more to a socialist, because we need to to spread the everything with the people." I say, "Okay, that's good. Uh, are you good on the school?" "Yes, I'm top notch. I have 10 on my thing." And I say, "Oh, that's great. Okay, and do you know somebody that is struggling on the course?" "Yes." "Okay, let's do this. Give half of your points, giving 5 to them, or make it even. Make it even. You got 7, and you give 3 to him, and he will have 8 or 7."
Sure.
"No, but I studied until late at night." It's the same way. You're answering my question.
Yes.
You have to have what you are capable to do.
Yep.
I mean, if you don't go to school in America, it's because you don't want. I mean, the school is free here. There is free school here all the way until you reach the university or the college.
Well,
You know?
it's free. It's free through high school, but they're
Yeah.
for people who are coming in, they're given free college. It's interesting. We Americans don't get free college, but anyway, that's another topic. Alex, so then
Exactly.
when
No,
did you
no,
get?
no. I'm agree. And then like I say, and there is another guy who told me one day, "Oh, but you're an immigrant, and you don't like this and that." Yes, I'm an immigrant that suffered the communism.
Oh, losing your audio a little bit, buddy.
For the communism, you hate anything that smells communism. The communism, the only thing that deliver is the hunger. See, if we're not even communists, we're close to be socialist, and in no time we're going to pay 5 times what we're paying today if we don't change the government.
Yeah, there you go, Alex Valladares, and thank you, Alex, for sharing that. That's huge because you have experience. You know what it's like. You've lived in Cuba. You've come to the United States. You understand the difference. When did you? Okay, now we're going to cut for people who aren't here for the freedom part, because that's such a great story, and it's really heartfelt. Thank you for sharing. It's personal. Thanks, Alex. So when did you get your first ham radio license? When did you get a U.S. ham?
I think it was back in 2006 or 7. I
Okay.
forget.
Okay, what
Yeah.
was your first call sign?
KB3 Mr. C.
KB3 Mr. C. Very sharp.
Yeah, Mike Romeo Charlie. I like that call, but I wanted to have something close to what I have now.
Yeah, and you had a call sign in Cuba too. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, I have I have 3 call signs, but it was part of one. Charlie Lima 7, Hotel United.
Okay.
I start with Charlie Oscar 9, Japan Echo Echo, who was the club station before I had my radio built, because in Cuba they don't give you license if you don't have a radio, and they have to come inspect the radio. You have to show that the radio is yours, that you build it, and blah blah blah, the project to build it and everything. And then they issue the license. If not, you have the certificate of capacity, which allow you to talk under the club call. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally understand. That's
So
cool.
I have the Charlie Lima 7 Hotel United, Charlie Mike 7 Hotel United, and Charlie Oscar 7 Hotel United. So
it made
that's
sense
why I
for
ended my-
W7 Hotel United. Oh man,
Yep.
I bet you're sweating because those are hard to get. The 1x2s and 2x1s, they're hard to get.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Live with Alex. Alex, what do you think your greatest gift has been? Your greatest gift in ham radio, sharing with other people. What do you think? A moment that stands out. Talk about that.
Well, I'm telling you this, and I was trying to explain this before. Everything that I have accomplished in my life, I accomplished because I'm a ham radio operator.
Mm.
I came to America because I was helped by the ham radio. I survived into the ocean because I was helped in the second time by the
By ham
Whiskey
radio.
3 by the ham radio Whiskey
Yeah.
3ZU in 14300 net, and U.S. Coast Guard actually talked to me as well. And ham radio has been on my life the whole time. When I came to Pennsylvania, I was talking on the local computer with another three Tango Extra. He used to
Okay.
work, he's working for Goya Foods. And when I talked to him, I used to be a pizza delivery driver. I quit the job there and I have my pickup truck and I went to another job and then I ended up on a pizza delivery driver. And I talked to this guy and my mother sent me a couple QSL card that she found in my house with somebody that came from Cuba to the United States. And inside of that package, there was his QSL card, what he sent me back in 1997 or
Wow.
98. I forgot,
Wow.
how it was the QSL card. And I took a picture, sent it to him. He cried. He drove from Philadelphia to Catasauqua
Mhm.
to see that, and I gave it to him, and we became good friends. And then he told me, Alex, you know what? You could be a good salesman. I want you to go to Secaucus, New Jersey, and talk to Rudy Balseiro. He will interview you, and maybe you'll get the job as a salesman. And I
Oh,
went
wow.
there to the guy,
Mhm.
and the interview was telling the story of my life, what I've been telling you. And when I finished, I told the guy, "Well, when you gonna do me the interview?" And I was prepared on how many years the company was on and how many dollars they sell in a year and blah blah blah. And he told me, "No, you already answered the interview. You're hired. Go ahead and do the drug test."
Wow. Wow. And that was
So
with Goya. Is that right?
was with Goya, and that was thanks to November 3 Tango X-Ray,
It's
which
great.
is now in South Carolina, but I used to live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
That's
and things
great.
like that. Franco Lavarrieta, the brother of Angel, also a great guy, helped me out a lot there while I was in Pennsylvania. And we had story. Nelson, see what Nelson did for me. Frank and Q2 Tango, November 2, X-Ray Union, Italy, Ramon,
Mhm.
and many, many other friends. I can tell you hundreds of friends that helped me out and give me opportunity like that. And here in Miami, when I came here, I have no friends, nothing. And I jumped into a repeater, a local repeater here, and it was Carlos, Kilo Japón 4, November Queen Alpha, and many other friends, Whiskey 4 Tango, Florida, you know, KB4, Echo Charlie, and a couple of friends here that they give me a welcome to the city, help me out, and I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I'm a ham radio operator, and when I actually fell from the roof, um, I was actually right here. I almost died on that fall. I don't know if you saw the pictures,
No. No, I
but I
haven't.
got injured very, very bad. I broke 5 ribs and a vertebra, and I have a broken head right here with a
Oh
couple of
my.
stitches and stuff.
Oh,
And I fall from the second
sorry.
floor to
Oh.
the
Oh.
of,
Oh. Oh. You're
no.
lucky you weren't killed. You're lucky to have survived that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, and many people knows that because they were following me on the YouTube and stuff.
Mhm.
And guess what? I received postcard and get well postcard from many friends, and actually KB2 UKA, Mr. Douglas from New York, he sent me an devils. How you call those fruit things?
Mhm.
Endeavors, right? Endeavors or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know how to call that. The
That's okay.
endeavors and things like that. And I received those, and I said, "Wow, man, ham radio is like a
It's a brotherhood.
fraternity.
Yep.
Fraternity.
Yep.
It's a brotherhood,
Agreed.
exactly."
Agreed.
And the friendship, and I received a letter from the Skyview Radio Society. I still have it in here. I have it handy because sometimes I look at it
Yeah.
and see what it says. What the hell did you do, Alex? You almost landed up dead on a raft, crossed multiple international borders, started at home, become as successful at your job, have a great family, have a popular YouTube channel, and then bing, you fall off of the damn ladder. You are a winner of the Skyview Goopsie Day Award. We hope you're doing better very soon. We're looking forward to see you on the radio. And then the signature, all of the friends at the Skyview uh, Society, Radio Society. That
That's
is amazing. And
no
and I
kidding.
received postcard from many friends, Todd and both of the Todds and
It's great.
many many friends that actually I received a letter from the association from the HOA telling me that I had to knock down the antenna. And I shared the email of the HOA Plus. I proved them that I'm part of the American Red Cross. I'm actually the net control for the HF uh, American
Florida
Red
Net.
Cross
Yeah.
Florida Net, and also the Aries, and I've been involved in that, and that's needable in the community.
Good
But
for you for
in top
giving
of
back.
that,
Good for
in
you.
top of that, there was, I think, over 100 emails from people around the country to email the HOA lady. She called me once and told me, "What the beep are you doing? You have so many people that don't want you to put that antenna down. I have received so many emails.
Oh,
I can't do anything to you because of that."
that's
And I
great.
and I and I'm gonna share that on the board, and she shared that, and
Bless her
finally I
heart.
got my antenna still up.
That's great. That's fantastic. There you go,
And
Alex. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Nice words from Tom in Bahrain. Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey. Amazing story, Alex. Must very much respect to you. It's good, Alex. Any final words for folks here on the show that you'd like to share?
Well, I always tell the people that it doesn't matter what you suffer in your life. What matters is what you're going to do to get out of that.
Okay, hold on, Alex. We're kind of getting in and out on audio here. Could you start that over again? You always tell people. Could you
Okay, I
repeat
always
that?
tell
Sorry.
people that doesn't matter if the bad time comes to you. There is always an opportunity to go out and go forward. And if you are in America, or if you are in a free country like UK or any other country, if you have freedom, you have everything. God is with us, and always respect God, and you'll be blessed.
That's powerful stuff. Alex, thank you for saying that. You know what? Thank you. I stand with you there on that one for sure. We have been live with Alex. I'm going to let him say the last name because he'll say it so much with flair. He'll say it with like a Cuban flair. Alex, last name. I say it's Valladares. Is that right?
Valladares.
Valladares. Okay, Alex. Brother, thank you. Whiskey 7 Hotel United. What time typically do you start your QSO shows there?
Well, I usually start at 3 p.m. Eastern time on the winter time, and then on the summertime I start at 6, 7 o'clock.
Okay.
6 o'clock.
All right, and that's Eastern time, right?
Eastern time, yes.
Okay.
Even these days, I've been a little bit, not so often on the air because, I was actually doing some help of my wife to do the Christmas decoration and here and there, and and plus what happens on my son's school the past week, and I'm actually spending time with him. We're going to the gym together and try to spend time and recover his trust, and that things happen and we need to keep forward. And I always tell him the darkness will go away and you always can go forward. And this is America. This is the best country in the earth. Wow. This is the country that the people will come here and they don't want to leave because it's so great.
Oh, wow. That's great. Good way to end the show. We've been live with Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel United from Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform here on YouTube. Just click the magnifying glass, type in W7HU Alex, and you will find his channel. Alex, thank you for joining us for today.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye now.
Bye, Alex. Thank you. We've been live with Alex from Cutler Bay, Florida. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate very much you doing that. I mean that, Alex. What a great, I'll never forget this one. Remember, Jeff White joins us next week from the beautiful state of Florida as well. He's up there in Okeechobee. His radio station has 1.4 million watts, over a square mile of antennas, and goes all over the world. How about that? Meet Jeff White, the general manager, WRMI Shortwave, next Saturday, December 18th at 20 UTC. Until we meet again, my name's Larry. My call sign's Kilo 7 Hotel November. The very best to you and your family, wherever you may be. God bless you. Thank you so much for watching Ham Radio Live. And thanks again to Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel United. We usually start with sign-offs. We can't do sign-offs from Cuba, but we do have some Cuba IDs. Thanks for being here, everybody. See you later. Hang on, Alex. We're about done. Looking at Channel 6 in Cuba here. Bye, everybody.